Once again, this is Benedict, and we have a guest today, a very special guest. I love him so much. We've been knowing each other for almost a year now, right? I think so. And he's a wonderful personality, great person, and has a very good sense of humor, and also very interesting to be with. And he's more like a father to me because he has done a lot of stuff, traveled around the world, and teaching something so profound that you get to hear from him directly today. Very interesting stuff. And I want to introduce him to us. His name is David Newman. So I'm going to read a little bit of his bio so that we can know who he is and also get to understand what he does. Now, David Newman is an alchemist educator and a trainer, a coach, and a thought partner, inspiring change and enhancing society through coaching, teaching, workshop facilitation, and leadership and consulting in creativity and innovation. There's a lot because he is Dr. David Newman. He has a PhD. So I'm not just talking about someone that is just all over the place. He is just so amazing and so awesome. Thank you so much, David, for joining us on TechSculpTics today. So as we always do in the show, you're going to tell us your name, and also you just say your name and you say, I'm a tech sculptor, because every single person that has a phone is a tech sculptor.
Thank you very much, Benedict, for your very warm welcome. And yes, I'm David Newman. And I too have a phone. I have a smartphone, and that makes me
Awesome.
a tech sculptor. I've also
Yeah,
got an iPad. I've got laptops. I've got
exactly.
all of this other technology
Yeah,
that is all part of being a tech sculptor and using the tech to sculpt via tool in my daily life.
exactly. Thank you so much. So today we're going to be talking about something so interesting. Very interesting, but David is going to let the cat out of the bag because he's going to give us like an intro to that. We're talking about three-dimensional thinking and sense making. So, David, just give us a background of what that is all about.
Okay, so I'm going to go back about 80 years to some work that a neuroscientist in Canada did. And he was looking at our brain and in terms of how our body is connected to the different parts of our brain. One of the things that he discovered was that our hands, our fingers, are actually the most connected part of our body to our brain. Something like 70% of our brain is actually connected to our fingers. So when we're having a discussion, or we might be using writing things on sticky notes, or these other forms of meeting and discussion, we're actually not using 70% of our brain. We're using a smaller amount of our brain. We're
Yeah,
using part of our conscious brain. But one of the things that he discovered was with our fingers and our hands, we're actually, these are really the search engine. This is the search engine for our brain. Now, how do we see this in our everyday things that people might be able to relate to? I want you to think about 18-month-old children, young, very young children. What is it that they do? Think about, they're always touching. They want to touch everything, and they put things in their mouth.
yeah,
Now, the mouth, the tongue and the mouth is the part of the body that is the second most attached to our body. But what
yeah,
they're doing is they're making sense. They're trying to understand their environment through touch and through tasting. Now, I do Lego Serious Play. I'm a Lego Serious Play methods facilitator. I train facilitators and educators and managers and pretty well anyone who has a conversation in Lego Serious Play methods. I don't normally suggest that people actually put Lego in their mouth as part of that process, but in using their hands,
yeah,
they're actually able to tap into a much broader part of their brain. And this is something that Lego Serious Play is one of these things that has actually been around for a while. It's nearly 25, 30 years that it's actually
wow,
been around.
yeah,
But for most people, it's still very novel. They
yeah,
haven't heard of this before. And so I'm become a great enthusiast. Um, of people learning and starting to use Lego Serious Play in their workplace. They can use it in their families. We use it. It can be used in government. It can be used in so many different areas. And that's led me to actually become a trainer
Wow.
of facilitators. Now,
Wow.
I first heard about using Lego about 10, 12 years ago. I saw a story in the Wall Street Journal and went, oh, that sounds interesting. And there is actually a training organization here in British Columbia. They do their training up in Whistler, and I was never able to do it because of when they had their training scheduled, and I was always teaching at the time, and it wasn't cheap. But it was one of these things that I followed, and I was going, I want to know more about this.
Yeah.
This really sounds interesting. And it was COVID. COVID was actually
Wow.
what enabled me to get trained in
Wow.
Lego Serious Play and to start using it because their ideas, sharing their understanding, you get a wider range of ideas. You're also getting, because you're using your fingers and your hands and you're tapping into other parts of our brain, you're getting a wider range of ideas. And so it's something that it's something that Johan Roos, the originator of Lego Serious Play, said, and this was very on. No, change the process, change the outcome.
Mm.
So if you change the process of how you run your meetings, you change the process of how students are learning and understanding concepts, you then change the outcomes. You change the ideas, the actions that get taken as a result. Or in my case, because I'm an educator, I teach at the University of British Columbia, you get students who have a much clearer understanding of the
Yeah.
material they are learning.
Yeah.
And so this is a really powerful tool that so far so few people know about or using. Gartner, again, a major tech research organization, they did a research study earlier this year about different innovation methods and where they are at in their development path. And they included Lego as an innovation method, Lego Serious Play as an innovation method.
Mm.
And in their work, their studies, they suggest that probably less than 5% of the potential market even know about Lego Serious Play at this point.
Wow.
Really small number.
Wow.
And it has about 5 to 10 years to run
Wow.
before it's reaching a level of maturity. So we're at the early stages
Mm.
of this with the Lego Serious Play, where there is this huge potential as people start to learn what it is and learn how to use it and but start to use it in different situations. The impact that that could have on this world in terms of a wider range of ideas, of teams that are working better together, of
Yeah.
students who are getting better grades in school and working in teams. And there is a lot that could be done
Mm.
if, by using a three-dimensional process in the thinking and sense making or making sense of the situation that we're in.
Wow.
So that yeah, that's what Lego Serious Play is.
Wow.
And so I was telling the story about how I got trained. I ended up getting trained online in over COVID and started to use it in my teaching. And I saw the impact with students. They would come into a class
Mm.
and they go, "Oh, we're going to play with Lego." One of the first things I'm always saying to people is I try to reframe it, and you're not going to be playing with Lego. You're going to be using Lego as a tool. It's a thinking tool,
Mm.
and it's going to be a playful process.
Wow.
You will be being playful, but it isn't that you're playing with Lego.
Yeah.
So why do I use this language? People think about Lego and these pieces as this is a kid's toy.
Mm.
When we're kids, we're building things in
Yeah.
Lego. And
Yeah.
now adults now
And
building
what?
things in Lego. Lego's done some amazing,
Yeah.
lots and lots of now things where they found that adults like to be building as well. And so they've got some wonderful models
Hmm.
that people are building. But what they're doing is they're building an external reality.
Hmm.
So kids are building boats and cars and
Yeah.
houses and sh spaceships and things that physical you can see. Or you've got these wonderful architecture um, recreations, that for adults that you can do. There are these massive things from the parts of movies. But when we're going doing Lego Serious Play,
Got the vision, got the drive. Tech is the force that